Hello students, welcome back to your class. How do you do? Enjoyed the break? Let us start again. First, little recapitulation. You have been discussing about friendly microorganisms, right? First we discussed making of curd and bread. Lactobacillus bacteria helps in formation of curd. Yeast is used in making bread. Then we discussed about commercial use of microorganisms. Microorganisms are used for large-scale production of alcohol, wine and acetic acid. Yeast is used for commercial production of alcohol and wine. In that regard, you read about fermentation, right? Next, we discussed about medicinal use of microorganisms, making of antibiotics from the microorganisms like penicillin, erythromycin, some of the antibiotics, name of antibiotics, also the precautions what we should take while taking antibiotics, right? Then we discussed about vaccines. Vaccines are biological preparation used for vaccination, and what is vaccination, how it is being done, this also we have discussed. Today we are going to start with increasing soil fertility. These are also friendly microorganisms, some bacteria and blue-green algae. They are able to fix nitrogen from the atmosphere to enrich soil with nitrogen and increase its fertility. These microbes are commonly called biological nitrogen fixers. These are called biological nitrogen fixers. One of these you have read in class 7. Rhizobium bacteria, which lives in symbiotic relationship with leguminous plants and can fix nitrogen in the soil. So these are and they are free living nitrogen fixing bacteria also. They can fix nitrogen in the soil, thus enrich the soil with a valuable nutrient, plant nutrient. Next, cleaning the environment. They clean the environment. In class 7 you read about this, that is decomposers, or they are called the natural cleaners, right? So have you seen farmers or gardeners making manure? How do they make it? In a pit, they keep depositing cow dung, peels of fruits and vegetables, dead leaves of plants, and keep it covered. After few days, this get decomposed and converted into manure. Now they can mix this in the soil. They mix in the soil to replenish the soil nutrients, right? And the microbes act on them, on these dead leaves of the plants, or the remains of the plants and the animals, dead remains of the plants and animals, and they convert this into manure. So thus they are cleaning the environment and also helping in recycling of the nutrients. So you often see large amount of dead organic matter in the form of decaying plants and sometimes dead animals on the ground. You find that they disappear after some time. You see every day the leaves from the plants which are falling on the ground, and it remains over there. If it has not been cleaned, it remains over there, and after some days you see it disappears. So where it goes? Actually the microorganisms decompose dead or organic waste of plants and animals, converting them into simple substances. So they decompose, they act on this and they decompose and convert this into simple substances. These substances are again used by plants and animals. As they make it into simple substances, it can be again used by the plants and animals. So they are helping in cleaning the environment and also recycling of the nutrients. So thus microorganisms can be used to degrade, that is breaking it into simpler forms, the harmful and smelly substances, and thereby clean up the environment. So they help in cleaning up the environment. So far which we have discussed microorganisms which are friendly or which are very helpful. Some of the microorganisms which are very harmful also. So next which we are going to discuss about harmful microorganisms, right? Microorganisms are harmful in many ways. Some of the microorganisms cause diseases in human beings, plants and animals. So they cause diseases to plants, animals and human beings. Such disease causing microorganisms are called pathogens. So such disease causing microorganisms are called pathogens. So a term you get, pathogens. What are pathogens? Disease causing microorganisms are called pathogens. Some microorganisms spoil food, clothing and leather. So they may cause diseases. Also they spoil food, clothing and leather. So they may be very harmful. First we are going to discuss about disease causing microorganisms in humans. Right, pathogens enter. So pathogens, disease causing microorganisms are called pathogens. So these microorganisms which are able to cause diseases, this, how do they enter into our body? They enter our body through the air we breathe, the water we drink or the food we eat. They can also get transmitted by direct contact. They also can be transmitted through direct contact with an infected person. Carried through an animal. It can be carried through an animal also. Microbial diseases that can be spread from an infected person to a healthy person through air, water, food or physical contact are called communicable diseases. So what are communicable diseases? Microbial diseases that can be spread from an infected person to a healthy person through air, water, food or physical contact are called communicable diseases. Examples of such diseases include cholera, common cold, chickenpox, tuberculosis. So these are the examples of communicable diseases. When a person suffering from common cold sneezes, fine droplets of moisture carrying thousands of viruses are spread in the air. Common cold, all of us we have suffered from, right? And time to time we suffer from. So these are caused by viruses. So when a person suffering from common cold sneezes, fine droplets of moisture carrying thousands of viruses are spread in the air. The virus may enter the body of a healthy person while breathing. So if a person, when the person, infected person sneezes or coughs, so these thousands of viruses which come out and in fine droplets of moisture, and the nearby person when inhales the air, it enters into the body of the person and makes the person sick. There are some insects and animals which act as carriers of diseases. So there are some animals which act as carrier, that is they are carrying the germs of the diseases causing carriers of disease causing microbes. Housefly is one such carrier. So housefly is one such carrier. The flies sit on the garbage and animal excreta. So they sit on dirty substances on the garbage and animal excreta. Pathogens stick to their bodies. So the pathogens stick to their bodies. When these flies sit on uncovered food, they may transfer the pathogens into food. So they contaminate our food and drink. When if it is uncovered, if it is exposed, so the flies sit on this. The flies sit on the dirty substances. From there it gets stick to their body, and when they sit on our food and drink, they contaminate the food, and when we take this kind of food, we may fall sick. Whoever eats the contaminated food is likely to get sick. So it is advisable to always keep the food covered. Avoid consuming uncovered items of food. So when we say that is something which is uncovered or exposed, we should not take that kind of food. Another example of a carrier is female Anopheles mosquito. Female Anopheles mosquito, which carries the parasite of malaria. Malaria is a disease and which is transmitted through mosquito bite. Remember, through mosquito bite. Houseflies, they are carrying the disease out of their body externally, whereas the mosquito, they carry it internally inside their body, and through biting they transmit this. So they a female Anopheles. So name of this mosquito, Anopheles. A female Anopheles mosquito carries parasite of malaria. Malaria is a disease, and the parasite of malaria, it is a protozoa. Female Aedes mosquito acts as carrier of dengue virus. Another name of another type of mosquito, Aedes, acts as carrier of dengue virus. So dengue, that is also a febrile disease. So this also carries the it is the carrier of dengue virus. How can we control the spread of malaria or dengue? So malaria or dengue, these are transmitted through mosquito bite. These are transmitted through mosquito bite. See here a picture of Anopheles mosquito which is given, picture of an Anopheles mosquito. So the question, how can we control the spread of malaria or dengue? So as it is a disease caused by insect bite, so if we can prevent insect bite, certainly it can be prevented. So with this question I complete today's class. You find out the answer of this. How can we control the spread of malaria or dengue? This question you will do. How can we control spread of malaria or dengue? Find out the answer. At least 5 points you can write this. Next class we will discuss it again. Thank you children.